viewers watching, the citizens of the state, we all know what happened that day at Governor Oyegun's house. What happened at the ADC secretariat? The governor coming to play innocent is just funny. But it's good to know that they are scared, of admitting the truth, which is that they probably sent thugs. I'm not saying they sent because there's no hard evidence.
Yeah,
they probably sent thugs to the ADC secretariat and Oyegun's house to attack Peter Obi and the ADC members. So I would just leave it there by saying that the government lied, the governor lied, but it's fine. We all know what happened.
Just to clarify, because we don't want to make any insinuations that would lead to something we're not sure of. We are not
Yes.
Are you categorically saying that the government sent thugs to attack the ADC?
That's why I said probably. Because if you watch the video you just played, showed a direct threat on Obi's life. The governor said it with his mouth that he cannot guarantee Obi's security if he visits the state without telling him. He said it. In fact, he had lied as at then that when Obi visited, 3 people died. His commissioner for information, Afebwa, came on air to affirm that 3 people died until date. They were unable to provide bodies. It's just a sham on democracy. This is a shame on Edo State. And I'm so embarrassed to be, from or based in that state. The government is lying to the camera, but like I said, it's fine. You know what happened. I know what happened. The citizens of Nigeria know what happened on that very day. I'm not saying they sent thugs. I'm saying they probably sent thugs. In fact, if the DSS was functional, the first person to arrest is the governor. The first person to be questioned is the governor. The first person to be invited is the governor. But we are in Nigeria, and so this is it.
Thank you, Precious. Fortunately or unfortunately, governors enjoy immunity in Nigeria, according to the 1999 Constitution. But let's talk about the area where these things happen, the ADC Secretariat and former Governor Oyegun's house. Is it close to any security formation?
In the heart of Benin.
It's very worrying.
In the heart of Benin, just beside Government House. Also beside the police state CID. You do not understand?
I'm glad you mentioned this because it's worrying.
Oyegun's house is in the heart of Benin, where it happened, where there was a shootout.
So I'm very happy you mentioned this because it's worrying that politically exposed persons in the person of Peter Obi and all the others would be exposed to a level of violence. You have shooting, and there was no security operative in sight to, calm the situation or apprehend those responsible for it.
It looks like an organized attack. And I'm saying this without fear or favor. It looks like an organized attack. In fact, if I was to make statements, I would say that probably the security agencies were aware of what happened that very day. Because you can't tell me that thugs were riding on bikes. Bikes have been banned in Benin. Y'all don't understand what's going on. Bikes have been banned in Benin. So how did they drive through on bikes? I have a clip of them on bikes shooting. How did they drive through? How come nobody stops them? We have barricades in front of the DSS office. In fact, the EFCC office is there. The police state CID is there. We were in the center and this happened.
Okay, let's put that graphics on the screen for clarity, especially for our viewers. Okay, let's see if we can have that graphics on the screen there. So what we have here is the DSS office is not far off from the ADC Secretariat. They say it's approximately 5 to 10 minutes drive on Sapele Road, Benin. You've also mentioned that bikes have been abolished, if you use that word. And then the proximity there shows that roughly, if there was any attack, like we know there was, the police should be able to get there on time. Can you confirm to us once again that this ADC Secretariat is in a secured environment?
Yes.
So being in a secure environment.
It is. And apart from even ADC, apart from the ADC secretariat, the former governor's house, John Odige Oyegun, is in the midst. I wish that you could put it up on the screen. It's in the midst of it. It's even closer to these agencies that I've mentioned. Listen, I'm going to say once, I'm going to say again, the government of the day knows what happened on that very day. The security agencies knows what happened on that very day. It's just unfortunate that they've chosen not to do anything. Like I said, it's like orchestrated. It was all planned between them, probably, and the talks.
But is this also a sentiment that the majority of the citizens in Edo State uphold? What's the general sense? What are they saying? Are they speaking about it as much?
The Edolites I know are very angry. They are very offended. I think one thing. I'll say one thing here. Edo people are not people you can intimidate. In fact, they cannot even stand you intimidating someone else. And I fear that soon they may arise and resist this governor. I fear that very soon the Edo people will stand up, because you don't tell them what to choose. You don't tell them who to like. They do what they please. They do what is right. They're going to be watching you as though they don't know what you are doing. Like an adage in the Edo language, it says, we don't plan together, but we think alike. Soon they are just all going to react. And that's where I fear this is going to. I tell you for a fact, the Edo people are so displeased, they are embarrassed, and very soon they are going to react to what the governor is doing. This is a slap on democracy.
All right. Earlier on, we spoke to a member of the All Progressives Congress. He is a former chairman, Cross River State, Mr. Alphonsus Iba. And he talked very clearly on why the FCT minister had to visit the polls. I am aware that you were fully active. Let me use that language, the Gen Z language. You were fully active at the just concluded by-elections up until the wee hours of the night. You were following, especially at this, the room, ensuring that the votes were well counted, and then you encountered some challenges. But let's play a quick response when we asked the APC member this morning why the FCT minister was touring the polls. And we'll come back to ask you what you actually saw, especially at the just concluded by-elections and your scorecard. Well, while we try to get that video ready, let me just first of all ask you what your take is, your scorecard, especially on the just concluded by-elections.
The elections that happened in Abuja, I was there. The APC rigged the election. They rigged the election. 1 minute we were winning, ADC was topping it. ADC gave them a goose chase. The next minute, we slept and woke up, and just like 2023 elections, they had won. I think now that it's deliberate that INEC and its cohort push collation, delay collation till midnight, where everybody is tired. What they do is they delay it to the depth of the night where you are tired and you are seeing bad boys coming. I was at one of the collation centers, and I know the amount of bad boys that suddenly started coming in. The elections were rigged. I was so embarrassed seeing the minister, Nyesom Wike, come on air to say that the election was good. I don't know if they don't know that the world is watching. I'm probably laughing at us. An election that only 7% voted was good. If you send your child to school and he comes back with 7% over 100, you are going to clap. These guys deserve to be flushed out of our system. These guys are a menace. They are a decay in the system. Trust me when I say that the FCT elections were rigged. You are even aware that an ADC supporter was stabbed to death. I don't know if you are aware, but it didn't make it to the news because it was not an APC person. We can't continue like this. That's what I want Nigerians and the APC to know. And very soon, just very soon, Nigerians might begin to arise and oppose this dictatorship. You can't say no movement, and you that is supposed to be a symbol of example started moving around. First of all, why was there no movement? Why was there no movement? How were people supposed to get to their polling units? It was all orchestrated. In fact, I attended an event where a cardinal was saying that he was stopped twice by the police. And then he asked the police, if you say there's no movement, I'm going to vote. This is my voter's card. How am I supposed to get the voter's card? And the policeman said, okay, since you be pastor, they go. How? Why? This country is going into coma. And I hope we realize this on time. So finally, the election was rigged. I wouldn't know if the candidates would want to challenge in court because the judiciary now is looking like an arm of the government. So I wouldn't know if anybody wants to explore that option, but let's get it clear. The election that happened in Amak on Saturday in Abuja was rigged.
So what do you expect, judging from all that you've seen and you've been active as a civil, observer?
I expect the people to rise up.
No, I'm
Anybody
asking,
that knows me.
for 2027 elections, do you have faith?
Oh, yes. I have faith that the people will rise up and chase their oppressors. Yes. I'm an advocate for Aura. Match their madness. For the only thing that can cure these people's madness is the people's madness. That's the only thing. Dialogue would not work. And please, if you are listening to this, listen clearly. Dialogue would not work. It's not enough to vote. Vote and defend your vote. Things that these people cannot rig is massive voting. They can't rig when the people come outside to vote. They cannot rig when the people come out to vote and defend their vote. So the thing we did 2023 is not going to repeat 2027. We are going to come out en masse and vote and sit down till Amupita is done counting the results. So that is what is going to happen. So I'm charging Nigerians to stand up to vote and defend their votes. Because if their votes were not important, these people would not be restless. You would not see probably the government of Edo State trying to kill a political opposition. Yes, they know what is at stake. They know they are about losing 2027. And that's why they are restless. So the people must continue to insist as much as they resist.
All
and
right,
just before,
our final question.
Talking about the governor of Edo State, I want to send a message to him.
Okay.
I remember the other day, just 2024 here, that he came with the then Deputy Governor Philip Shuaibu to Edo State. As at that time, the then Deputy Governor was embattled, and court had just granted him judgment in his favor that he was the rightful Deputy Governor of the state. This governor then was a senator. They came in together, and the then government of the day did not want them in the state. Thugs were sent to the airport that shot at them to the extent that a police officer beside the now governor, then a senator, died. This governor was crying like a baby. You see, this governor was crying like a baby. And one thing he said he would do when he comes into office is to embattle thuggery and insecurity. Well, we are all seeing what's going on in Edo State now. This same governor that was crying like a baby when a police officer was murdered in cold blood just beside him is the one that is probably now encouraging thuggery. I'll say it again and again. Time will come when the people of Edo State will resist. The people of Nigeria will resist this level of miscreant and dictatorship.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us. I wanted to ask one final question, and if you can answer in just 30 seconds before we go straight to the news. You now have a new acting IGP. The previous or outgone IGP did mention that there will be no protests, and he ensured that that wouldn't happen. It was effected. So he ensured that every protester was well managed, pushed to a particular area so that it doesn't escalate into any form of violence. What do you think about the new acting IGP? Do you think there will be changes and then people will be allowed to carry out their civil duties or rights?
I don't think there will be changes. They are all one and same, from Egbetekun to Olatunji. I don't know if the presidents have a problem with other tribes, though, but I think they are all one and same. Just the way Amupitan is saying with Mahmoud Yakubu, let Nigerians not be deceived or distracted. I feel this is just a distraction. They are all one and same.
All right.
But Nigerians will continue to insist. Nigerians will continue to try. The only thing we have that we cannot give to them is hope. So every time you see someone bust up somewhere in one corner of the street protesting, it's not because that person cannot give up, it's because that person has refused to give up. And I'm using this medium to appeal to Nigerians not to give up. However, I'm aware, I know very well in my mind that that major protest is coming. So this is a formal announcement to the government. If you keep doing the wrong things, at some point in time, everybody across the nation will be ignited same time. And that kind of protest, you cannot bust somewhere in the streets. It's happening soon.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Precious Oruche, also known as Mama P.